on the Speedway as the lovely Carolyn Waiter. We'll sing our national anthem. At this time, we'd like to ask you all to please rise. Carolyn?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Donnie Scheffler, top time in the sportsman division, and the lovely Carolyn Wainer doing an excellent rendition of our national anthem. With me tonight, and what a treat it is, I have Jim Trado, the announcer at the Sheboygan County Fairgrounds, helping me out on this great big night of racing action here at the Hales Speedway. And Jimmy, what are your observations for your official pace time? The Hiller Ford pace car, the traditional brand new Ford top-line automobile this year, a 1989 Ford Thunderbird, presented to us here at the Hales Corners Speedway by Hiller Ford, located directly north of the Speedway on Highway 100, where they're currently featuring year-end rebates, and big ones they are. As the lovely Karen Shanefield poses with Donnie Scheffler, the handsome bachelor, down in the infield area. And Karen presents the yesteryear Pub and Grill trophy for Scheffler's ride in the 20-lap Sportsman main here this evening. Okay, it looks like the field's pretty well shaped up behind pole sitter Al Atkinson in the Kovac Chrysler Plymouth entry out of Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. And outside of him, from Kaukauna, Wisconsin, in the reliable welding number 10, it's Pete Parker. Jimmy, who do we have in row number 2?
In car number 2, the Waukegan track champion, the Hales Corners track champion of years past, and the white number 2 from Lakeville, Illinois, Whitey Harris. Outside from Waukesha, the orange number 3, Concrete Racing number 3, Russ Scheffler.
And it looks like inside just a moment or so as we need a push truck to assist the number 64 Mark Brunner automobile. Brunner having a problem with his machine, and Mark will fall in on the tail end of the field. So you don't have the field shaped. Okay, the third row, going from inside of row number 3. Out of Batesville, Arkansas, and how often we hear that hometown name. That must be quite a racing town in the Bill Dave. Tire entry number 21, Billy Moyer. And outside of Moyer in row number 3 in the Grammy Racing Engine, number 2 from Ashland, Kentucky, Charlie Schwartz.
In the white and red 27, inside the next row is Bob Pullman Jr. from Oak Lawn, Illinois, outside of Pullman. In the black 21, Peterbilt, the Wisconsin Camaro, Teddy Dolan.
The next row back from Milwaukee's south side. And I like to see those guys racing off the south side with a rich racing heritage from St. Francis, Wisconsin. In the prototype racing engine, 00, Jimmy Wildman Watson. And outside of Watson, in car number 21 from Bolingbrook, Illinois. In the Steinhaus Enterprises, number 21, Gibby Steinhaus.
Definitely a driver to watch. He was very impressive in a heat race. Riding up behind him, number 12. In the Miller High Life Camaro, the Franklin Flyer, Billy Preetzel. And next to Billy, in the green number 10 Suburban Drywall Camaro, it's George Scheffler.
Next row inside, the Exide battery, number 96, Greenfield and Tom Searing, and alongside the top, the Flying Farmer from Oostburg, Wisconsin, in the Montana Trucking number 4, Gordy Seeger Jr.
In the next row, the 96 car, the 96 WKLH Pontiac. Actually, we already did Tom Searing, didn't we? We'll go to the next row back. In the 15 car, it's Skip Martin. Outside of Martin, Dennis Erb, a late arrival in the white 26.
And we'll see the next row form up, and it looks like it'll contain, in the Pabst Blue Ribbon, number 32, out of Navarino, Wisconsin, Terry Anveling. And perched alongside of Anveling, in the Blatt sponsored number 17 automobile from Butler, it's Cindy Peterson.
In the next row, actually, Cindy was the first ever driver to win a World of Outlaw event. Perhaps it could be 2 in a row for the 17 car. Behind her, from West Bend, in the white number 29, Mike Kahn. Outside, the Miller Genuine Draft sponsorship on Jack Ashenbenner's 06.
The next row inside, the Napa Auto Parts number 5 from Milwaukee, a 9-time track champion. It's the veteran Frank Smith, and catch this act. In the Berger Brothers Scrap, number 11, also from Milwaukee, outside of Frank, is his son, Bobby Smith.
44 is Robbie Andreessen, 64 is Mark Brenner. Call it out of 4, Tom.
The cars rumble off of corner number 4. Getting the jump out of sack, take number 09 of Atkinson. 3 wide up the back chute, and Schwartz goes to the outside. Schwartz on the move in the early going. Parker, Rush, Scheffler, Schwartz in the early stage. Pete Parker stretching it out over Charlie Schwartz. Rush Scheffler riding third. Tom Searing in the wall. Cars all over the place. Ambulance, Seeger, a wheel off the steering machine vaulted him high on the back straightaway wall. Seeger, with no place to go, slammed into the 96 automobile of Searing's. Anveling, Kahn, all innocent bystanders as Ashenbrenner in 06 locked him up and avoided the melee. In this 50 lap feature event have run but one feature event, and once again, Steinhaus goes back to work. One up to the fence on the restart, and Whitey Harris loses 2 spots. Jimmy Steinhaus and Bill Moyer. Pullman also takes over a spot from Harris. Schwartz is out to his rear bumper. Rush Scheffler was in the number 3 spot. Parker, Schwartz, Rush Scheffler, Jimmy Steinhaus, and then it's Billy Moyer. Schwartz looks to the outside of Parker and Smith retires from the event. 5 laps complete. Bill Moyer fourth, Jimmy Steinhaus your top 5. Parker still out in front of Charlie Schwartz. Schwartz out Scheffler. Schwartz takes over the top spot. Schwartz your new leader with Parker second. Billy Moyer third. Steinhaus fourth and Russ Scheffler fifth. Schwartz out in front of Parker. Then it's Moyer. Steinhaus and Russ Scheffler. Stretching it out over Billy Moyer, who's gone to the second spot at Pete Parker's expense. Steinhaus continues to run forward with Russ Scheffler fifth. Ford works inside of 15 Martin, putting him a lap down. He now moves up on Dennis Irvin. Chicagoland driver a lap in the rear. Billy Moyer, Pete Parker involved in an incident over in corner number 4 when the Skip Martin automobile went around. Laps scored complete as number 2, Charlie Schwartz, set to go back to work with Eddie Steinhaus in hot pursuit. Steinhaus has a broken left front suspension member. Steinhaus' car will not be around for much longer. Bobby Smith gets together. Priestel's involved. Russ Scheffler goes up and over. The Scheffler automobile rolling over on the main straightaway. A devastating incident for the Russ Scheffler machine as up and over the vehicle goes. Please stay back from that straightaway fence. Security is there to put you back in your seat. They're attending to the Russ Scheffler incident. To have everybody back from that main straightaway retaining wall. All you fans back in your seat. Very capable people are attending to the Russ Scheffler incident. Bobby Smith looks over his machine as he asks for the assistance of starter Mark Sweeney as to determine the amount of damage to the Bobby Smith automobile. The word we get is there's a lot of fuel leaking from the Russ Scheffler automobile, and they're going to try to upright the automobile. Russ Scheffler climbs from the automobile. He's standing in the driver's suit. They'll take him over to the emergency vehicle. Russ wants to go back and look over the automobile, but
chain reaction of sorts. Tom, a lower control arm broke on the 21 car of Gibby Steinhaus as he tried to pull to the infield. The 27 of Pullman punted to him, and that started a chain reaction of sorts.
Well, a lot of damage to the number 21 Steinhaus automobile. I'm sure it will be scratched for the evening, but with the cars running at the tremendous speed they're attaining here on the 1/3 mile clay oval, an incident like that is bound to set off a chain reaction situation, and a lot of damage to the Russ Scheffler Concrete Racing Corporation number 3 automobile. The result, Billy Prietzel went back to the pits. Billy was involved in that incident on the main straightaway, so I'm sure they're feverishly attending to the Prietzel number 12 automobile that we do not see trackside at this time.
They got the grader
Russ Scheffler looking over the incident with great interest on the main straightaway. Interesting situation with the Scheffler automobile. Russ has a fresh air supply piped to his helmet. I was just wondering if Russ, in fact, had a problem getting himself out of the automobile with that contraption affixed to his helmet. Obviously, Russ is A-OK in supervising the removal of his automobile. Again, we ask everybody to move back to your seat. All the fans will have adequate viewing then of the emergency removals. It's taking place. The N&S towing emergency vehicle, gently putting Scheffler's automobile back on its feet.
You can see the crews going to work time on the back straightaway
Russ Scheffler now describing the incident to Darrell Traber. Possibly Darrell will walk up here and give us an update. A rough break for the youngster from Pewaukee, Wisconsin, as he was running in the top 5 at the time of that incident.
A lot of work going on over here on the back straightaway, Tom. As you see, Billy Moyer's car is being looked at by a crewman, if not Billy himself, as he climbed out of the car to look over the damage. I do believe it is Billy down there, now working on the underneath of the car.
Milwaukee's southwest side. Adjustments galore. Normally we don't see that on a regular Saturday night program here at Hales. The drivers are not allowed to touch their cars, and if they do, they have to go into the pits to make some adjustments and fall to the rear. Set to go green once again with Schwartz on his way. Flying as Moyers regains several of those spots. He makes a bid inside of 09 Atkinson. Russ Scheffler, after rolling over, comes back onto the speedway. Russ Scheffler flipping his car, brings it back trackside, and throws Scheffler out. Whitey Harris has worked his way to second in car, third in car number 2. Moyer already back to 5th, moved around the outside of Harris for 3rd. Charlie Schwartz, Ted Nolan, Billy Moyer, Whitey Harris, and Bob Coleman. Scheffler goes around up in corner 4. And a yellow flag once again.
Now number 2, Charlie Schwartz, and number 21, Teddy Dolan, may be getting jumped on the start, but now Moyer files in single file as we're back racing.
Leader with Nolan running in the number 2 spot. 21, Moyer rides 3rd. 27, Pullman. 2, Harris going back to their battle.
Pete Parker's now off the 8th position, Tom.
Out of shape as Billy Moyer takes the 2nd spot from him. A lot of smoke going front of the automobile back in the tank. I believe it's a 1 to 00. Atkinson now on the move as he moves around the outside of Pullman for 5th.
Low Groove is the place to be, Tom. Low Groove, number 27, Bowman, now pulling up to the outside to perhaps protect his top 5 running order up behind number 09, Atkinson. Atkinson now in the middle of the track. Down to the bottom, Whitey Harris.
But Billy Moyer closes the gap. Halfway, 25 laps complete for race leader Charlie Schwartz.
Teddy Dolan's car now sounds a little bit sour, so he's running in that second spot now, perhaps headed back to the pit area.
Pete Parker moves around the outside of Pullman. That's the battle for fifth. Now encountering a lot of traffic and he has to put a lap down. And Moyer closes in on his rear deck. Whitey Harris continues to run fourth with Pete Parker now having a firm grip on the fifth spot car 10. In the record book for race leader Charlie Schwartz in car number 2. As Moyer tries to chase him down. Moyer now looks under Schwartz, but Schwartz hasn't working on the top. As he puts Herb a lap down. Three wide, and Schwartz moves inside of Wildman Watson and Bob Holden.
That could be the move, Tom, that puts Charlie Schwartz into the victory circle. What a move by Charlie Schwartz, 3 wide on the front straight.
Schwartz doing a masterful job of working his for the moment, sideline by the Watson 00 automobile. Schwartz moves around the outside of Whitey Harris. Billy Moyer works inside of Harris. As the leaders continue to put laps on the rest of the field. 35 laps complete, 15 to go. Unofficially, I have him fifth. Pete Parker in car number 10. On third running goal in car 21. As Charlie Schwartz, your race leader, has left everybody up to fourth running Pete Parker in car number 10. straightaway. Parker closing in on Nolan's 21. That's the race for third. Billy Moyer now closes the gap on Charlie Schwartz. The lap's winding down. We're under 10 remaining. We'll leave it up. Schwartz now about to put Pete Parker running toward the left and a yellow flag. The George Scheffler automobile stalls up in corner number 4. This time around, and what a shootout for the remaining 7 laps we'll have. Parker already has moved around Nolan for third. Charlie Schwartz back out in front of Moyer as we go back to green flag action.
Charlie Schwartz said his car is working better than it has in a long time, and perhaps it could be a Charlie Schwartz victory lane. 6 laps to go.
Well, Jimmy, they went to the top just a few laps ago. Now they're back on the bottom. What is it? Lock the place up, and there are a few remaining laps. Your guess is as good as mine.
Schwartz has maintained that little bit of an edge as he takes the same line on the front straight. Moyer and him both bounding through 4.
They're bounding through those famous Hales Corner Speedway inside speed bumps. Schwartz out in front of Moyers. 4 laps remain in tonight's victory event. Charlie Schwartz still in the driver's seat as the laps wind down. Moyer goes to the outside. Moyer tries it high. The second spot. Then it's a long and a yellow flag for the Al Atkinson incident on the back straightaway. A yellow flag that'll make it a green-white checker situation. Charlie Schwartz, your race leader. Billy Moyer rides second. A long way back to Pete Parker, car number 10, who's third. Then it's 21 Dolan fourth with 2 laps remaining. Charlie Schwartz, just 2 laps of victory. He stretches it out over 21 Moyer.
No holding back. It's all or nothing as Schwartz takes the green.
Moyer looks under Schwartz, up the back chute. A lap and a half from the checkered flag. Down into 3. Schwartz in the bottom. It's Schwartz, Moyer. Under Schwartz, Billy Moyer on the main. Now here comes Schwartz coming back at him. Here into the straight. Schwartz nipping Moyer. Charlie Schwartz nipping Billy Moyer by no more than a foot or 2 for the victory. It's unanimous. Charlie Schwartz, car number 2, Ashland, Kentucky driver, nips Billy Moyer of Batesville, Arkansas for the victory. Let's have a nice big round of applause. Charlie Schwartz picks up the victory in his Drammy Racing Engines, number 2. Unofficially, here's how we see it. Schwartz, of course, the victor. Billy Moyer second. Pete Parker third. Ted Dolan fourth. The only cars to complete all 50 laps.
Fans, he's out of the car. Let's hear it for him. Charlie Schwartz.
Big round of applause. Charlie Schwartz. What a ride. Regaining the top.
His crew's coming over to congratulate him. He's got a little complaint, but he can't complain. Fans, what do you think of that finish, huh?
Comes down trackside. She's the proprietor of yesteryear's Pub and Grill, presenting the trophy.
Charlie, you know Billy could have been that close with just 2 laps to go. It looked like you had a race in hand from our vantage point, but you never could trust Moyer back there, can you?
No, but you know, something broke on my front end with a couple laps to go, and it just going into when they dropped the green flag going in that first corner, the left front just fell all the way down, and I thought Billy had me, and I just took a chance and drove back under him, and you know, cranked the motor really hard to come down this front straightaway. Is the only way we did it.
How can you hold your breath for those 50 laps, boy? That was a lot of racing you had tonight.
Well, you know, Billy deserved to win the thing, having to go to the tail and everything, but I just had to beat him once this year, you know, so I just, you know, I probably over-revved the motor that last lap a little bit.
I think it was worth it, Charlie. Congratulations. Great victory. Charlie Schwartz takes home the victory and the trophy back to Ashland, Kentucky. Fans, he's going back in the pit area, but he might be able to hear you. How about a nice hand for Billy Moyer going back to the pits? He put on one heck of a race. I don't know if we can make it any more exciting here at Hales. You guys put on one heck of a show. Did you think you had them?
It was close. I didn't know.
Now you're on the gas on the out. Was there anything on the outside? Is that where you were going to think about catching them at the end there, or were you just trying to hope to hang on?
Well, I just, you know, as I was searching, you know, trying to find some racetrack, but the bottom had some moisture there in it, and it was really the only place to run.
What can you say about Charlie Schwartz driving?
Well, he did a real good job tonight. You know, he just, you know, had a little bit better car than we had tonight. You know, he did a good job.
Well, I think all the fans here got their money's worth out of the final corner. You guys are both on the gas. Couldn't have been a better finish, or more exciting finish, I should say. Better finish for Charlie. Congratulations on a great second-place run.
Thank you.
And he's the champion, folks, the 1989 World of Outlaw late model champion, Billy Moyer from Batesville, Arkansas. Hey fans, you want these guys back here next year? We'll get it on for you. Sportsman Semi now trackside.